everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know what we do and you know how we do it. Yes, we do our shout outs first. And I am going to run that beautiful bean footage. All right, y'all, I want to give a quick shout out to all of the readers who decided to come on through and support the channel. Y'all are such a blessing to me. Y'all are, and I appreciate you so very much. And first up is my girl, the one, the only, the most faithful of them all, and that is Yulette. Thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and being a part of this community. And Donetta DeCosa came through. Yes, she did. Donetta is so sweet and so kind and so supportive. And I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, Donetta. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for coming through. And my guy, y'all know who he is. Yes, that would be Kevon Slims. Yes, Kevon came through. He is so supportive, and I appreciate him so very much. He is so funny, too. He was in the comments today, and he is so funny. So thank you, Kevon. Thank you for the Kiki, and thank you for being a part of this community. You are the best. Also, I had some of the readers to come through over there on Buy Me a Coffee. Yes, they did. And first up is S. Tokent. S. Tokent, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you for buying me a coffee. And C. Barnes, yes, C. Barnes came through over there on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you, C. Barnes. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for holding your girl down. I appreciate you so very much. And Lu Chaoli, I hope I am saying that correctly. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for holding your girl down. Thank you for being such a wonderful and kind support. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Ra came through. Thank you, Ra. Thank you for being a part of this community. You are the best, you are, and you are so kind and so gracious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Xanakush came through as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Xanakush. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for buying me a coffee. Thank you for being such a wonderful support. But most of all, thank you for being a part of this community and holding me down. I appreciate it so very much. Your support means everything. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and of course, we have a lot to talk about. Because, like I said, ever since it leaked out that Harry and Meghan would be returning to the UK, these internet streets have been on fire. So, yes, we have a lot to talk about. First, we're going to talk about our girl Meghan. Yes, she just keeps on keeping on, staying focused on what is important. And what is important to her is, as ever, she has a new promo over on her As Ever website. And we're getting a new product drop. We are, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about Prince Harry. He is stepping down from one of his signature charities. Yes, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about what the chatter is here on these internet streets. We're going to talk about how Boris Johnson is really on Meghan and Harry's side, especially Harry. He absolutely is thrilled that Harry and Meghan are moving back to the United Kingdom. And a MP by the name of Mike Tapp wrote an article in the Telegraph in support of Harry's return. Very interesting, isn't it? I have said that I really, really feel that it wasn't so much that family wanted Harry to come back. It was the government. And now we're getting more and more former and present government officials coming out in support of Harry and Meghan. And we have quite a few video clips because I'm telling you, everybody is talking about this. But one in particular that I really, really found interesting is the one of the man on the street. And in this case, it was a woman on the street. And they can't seem to find anybody in the street that has a bad thing to say about Harry and Meghan's return. So we're going to do that as well. A lot of talk on the Jeremy Vine show. We have a lot of video clips. Yes, the podcast is jam packed. And y'all know I have other things sprinkled in there as well. So y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to lock in and understand that I'm not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. And we're going to start with this. And we're going to start with Meghan. She has a new video on her As Ever website, and it's her outside picking apples. Yes, and she hints at a upcoming product drop. And we know what it is. If she's picking apples, I'm sure it is a apple spread. And Zanny Sussex posted about it and said, new Instagram post from Meghan. I love how she's cutting out the noise and staying focused on what matters. A little hint of what's coming. Yeah, absolutely. And it is just such a cute video. If you have time, please go over to As Ever's website and give it a like. And Chris Byron Smith, he posted about it as well and said, Meghan As Ever continues to expand. Coming soon, a fall flavor and a new addition to As Ever Pantry arrives this week, August the 26th. Yes, I love apple. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And this squatty said the gossip mongers trade rumors like currency, desperate to reduce Meg's brilliance to a headline scandal. They can't handle that she's breathtaking, entirely self-made, and she owes them nothing, while the parasites feast on their own envy. Meghan is being her busy boss woman self. Yes, I'm telling you, Meghan is just keep on keeping on, and that is what they hate about her. She is unfazed. She is unbothered. I love it. And that part about she owes them nothing, that right there is delicious. And our Prince Harry, he has stepped down from African Parks. He has. This was in Feminagra. It says Prince Harry ends 10-year African Parks chapter as organization thanks him for his service. Yeah, so Harry is stepping down from African Parks. And this is what Feminagra says. Prince Harry's decade-long formal role with African Parks is coming to an end, with the organization confirming that he will conclude his tenure on its board of directors on the 30th of September. In its announcement, African Parks framed the change as the close of a long period of service rather than a rupture. Harry first came involved with the organization in 2016, later serving 6 years as president before joining its board. African Parks credit him with helping draw global attention to the biodiversity protection and the philanthropy of conservation in Africa while stressing that he remains supportive of its work. Now, what do y'all think about that? And they wrote a thank you to Prince Harry. It says, following a 10 years association with African Parks, the Duke of Sussex will conclude his tenure on the board of directors. His relationship with the organization dates back to Malawi in July 2016 when he supported one of the largest elephant translocation in history. He served as the president for 6 years before being appointed a member of the board of directors. Over the years, the Duke has brought global attention to an urgent need for biodiversity protection for the benefit of people and wildlife and has contributed greatly to promoting philanthropy for the cause of conservation in Africa. The Duke remains deeply committed to the cause and remains a strong supporter of African Parks work. What y'all think? I don't know what to think about it, to tell you the truth. Harry don't usually quit things. He doesn't. He don't usually step down. He is one to always be faithful. I believe maybe, me guessing, that maybe African Parks is going in a direction that Harry doesn't agree with. Or he just maybe just stepped down because he has so much on his plate. Y'all tell me what y'all think. To me, it can go either way. Now, Feminagra is saying that it could have been a time limit serving on the board, meaning that a lot of charities like African Parks have a limit on the number of years you can serve on their board. So that could be the reason why he stepped down as well. It says Harry also has no shortage of other commitments competing for his attention, and they already make up a considerable workload alongside his commercial work and other projects. And he has a job, let's not forget, at Better Up. So yes, Harry is busy. So it could go either way. It also said, so more obvious question is not why Harry is leaving after a decade. It is why an entirely normal transition needs to be treated as though there must be some hidden drama behind it. Exactly. Exactly. It could be just the time limit's up. It could be that Harry is just too booked and busy. And it could be that African Parks is going in a direction that Harry may not agree with. So it could be a plethora of different things. But the most important thing is that they parted on good terms. African Parks wrote a thank you to Harry and said that he would continue to support their cause. So I don't think it is any there. I'm sure those rags over there are going to push a narrative. It says African Park thanked Harry publicly for a decade of committed service, confirmed that his board tenure would conclude at the end of next month, and stressed that he remains a strong supporter of its work. Sometimes a former role simply reaches its natural conclusion. I agree. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to put this up. Boris Johnson wrote an article about Harry and Meghan. He did. And he is in support of them. Now, this is nothing new for Boris Johnson. Now, his sister, now she is trash. She is the one that wrote that whole thing about how Meghan's exotic DNA would thicken the royal blood. Yes, that was her. I think her name is Rachel. But he has never been in that camp. He has always supported Harry and Meghan and thought they were just terrific. Even though he was a trash prime minister to the First Order, he has always been supportive of Harry and Meghan. He has always said he liked Harry and Meghan, that they were wonderful at the job. And so here he is writing a article saying pretty much the same thing. And as you can see, it's in the Daily Fail, and it says Boris Johnson, strategy for the Sussexes being embraced by the firm. And him saying it that way really ring some bells and really make me think that maybe the powers that be, the ones who really pulled the levers of power within that government, did want Harry back, did want the Sussexes back. Like I have said in my past podcasts, that maybe it was not Charles. We know for certain it wasn't William, but it could have been the government that wanted Harry back. And here he is saying strategy for Sussexes being embraced by the firm. Yes, they want to put an end to this whole thing. And I'm putting this in air quotes, and that would be exile because that's what they called it. But Harry and Meghan just left. They're not in exile, but that's the terminology that they use. And the powers that be, I believe, want to put an end to it because at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan are the stars of the show. And those left behinds haven't been able to maintain the popularity of the monarchy since Queen Elizabeth passed, and they haven't been able to secure the future of the crown. And that right there is the most important thing to these people because let's not get it twisted. It's not about the one who wears the big hat. It's about all those lords, the House of Lords, all of those ladies, all those aristocrats maintaining their status. And if the crown falls, so does their status. So all of these people like Boris Johnson, they have a vested interest in the crown continuing. That is the reason why they pledge allegiance to the crown and not the king, because it's about the crown. The crown must go on. Nobody is bigger than the program. I have said that time and time again. And really has made a misstep in thinking that he is bigger than the program. My thoughts on the whole thing, but let's get into what this squatty who posted this article said. They say, the more I see articles like this, the more I wonder if Maureen Eden was indeed right about the so-called Project Thought. I mean, you have an interesting cast of characters all but advocating directly for Harry and Meghan. Even Kimmy Brodnock almost came close. Something is afoot. I keep saying that. I keep saying it. Y'all tell me what y'all think because none of this is a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I'm just saying. And speaking of me not believing in coincidences, look at this. A sitting MP has written an article in the Telegraph in support of Harry and Meghan. I'm just saying. And his name is Mike Tapp. And he says, I'm frankly disgusted by much of the coverage we are seeing around Prince Harry returning to his country with his family. Prince Harry has done a great deal for Britain. It's time we say so. And then it says, read more of my thoughts in the article. And the title of the article is, You Don't Always Have to Agree with Prince Harry to Welcome Him Home. Yes. Now, do y'all think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. Now, I didn't read the article, but it's clearly, this sitting MP is on the side of bringing Harry home and embracing him. And I think that this is just the beginning. We're going to get more and more and more of this. And if we do, we can pretty much say that I was right. And Richard Maureen Eden was right as well. And y'all don't understand how hard that was for me to say that out loud. Do y'all think it's a coincidence? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I want to play this video clip. It is of a man on the street type setup where this man is going around interviewing people, talking to them about how they feel about Harry and Meghan's return. And I have saw a few of these, and every one that I see, people are in favor of Harry and Meghan's return. Everybody is very positive. And so this lady was just so sweet and so absolutely on point with all of her answers. So I'm going to play the video and we'll talk on the other side.
This might be the most wonderfully British exchange I've had in a long time. Conversation with Kerry today, an Englishwoman I met just at Buckingham Palace, just made me feel good about Britain. I started being a little surprised as to why a Londoner would be at this tourist hotspot at Buckingham Palace.
You're here. What are you doing here?
I've got visitors.
Oh, so Meghan and Harry coming back. What do you make of it?
I kind of feel like they should just be left to kind of live their life. If they want to come back, they should come back. If they want to live in America, they should live in America. I think the fuss and the polarisation on TV and in the news and online is just potentially causing a dangerous situation, which we've already seen on a couple of occasions just recently. Yeah. So yeah, I think the sum total is leave them alone. They're coming back to see their family. I hope they enjoy their time in the UK.
And do you think they should be working for the royal family, or do you think they can remain as private citizens?
I think they've chosen to remain as private citizens, haven't they? I don't think you should be half in or half out. Chosen what you want to do. If you want to act. If you want to make jam, make jam. I don't know how many people make the amount of money that she's making on jam in the world, but yeah, I think the sum total is I think they should just do whatever makes them happy, and you know, everybody else who's working royals will get on with what they're doing, I'm sure, you know.
As a British taxpayer, would you be happy to pay for their security if they were not working royals?
I mean, that's another question, isn't it? The reason I'm here is not because Londoners come every day to watch the changing of the guard. I've got visitors, and royals bring in a lot of money and a lot of tourism, so I think it is worth paying for their security. And yeah, I want people to be safe if someone has previously part of the royal family. But maybe, you know, maybe his dad wants to chip in some of his private millions towards their safety. That could help, because we already pay a lot of tax. So, you know, a little bit less would be good.
You have been sensational.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was your name?
Kerry.
Thank you, Kerry.
No problem. From
Enjoy.
Ealing.
I'm from Ealing.
Are you?
Where in Ealing do you live?
Northfields.
Oh,
Okay.
the Common.
Yeah.
I just moved there.
Oh, right. Oh,
I
we're
love
going to
it.
go and get some sushi there this evening.
Oh, it's so good.
Take and
Yeah.
Tariya is very good.
Ealing is really good.
Ealing is very good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hope your thing goes well.
She was delightful, was she not? And so down to earth and sensible and rational. I mean, the people of Britain are so different from the media. The media is batshit crazy, but the people are very, very rational and good people. And that is the reason why I really feel so encouraged. And I also feel that this time is going to be different. I really feel, and I hadn't expressed this, but I really feel that Harry and Meghan is pretty much establishing a place in his home country so he can come back to it. They are going to spend some time in the UK, they're going to spend some time in America, and they're going to spend some time in Portugal. This is what they have always wanted. And I think they're doing this ahead of Willie becoming king and also because of the government. It is something bigger afoot. I have said it and I believe it. The squatty that posted this video said, I suspect the majority of Brits feel the same way this woman does. Despite the years of combined effort of palace leaks, online noise from the derangers, made up lies of UK media, printed and discussed 100 times daily, and the BS propaganda emotional support polling. Exactly. The British people, the majority of them, have not fallen for any of it. The majority of Britons are very rational people and they see things for what they are. And I would love it, love it, love it if they would stop buying those trash tabloids because they're circling the drain and they really, really think Harry and Meghan is going to save them. But I don't think so. And it's not because people are not going to be interested in Harry and Meghan. They're just not going to be interested in the bile and the vitriol printed on the pages of those rags over there. All right, I want to post this. This squatty posted a post from the Jeremy Vine show. And the post from Jeremy Vine says, they were used as scapegoats to cover up for the other nefarious things that were happening. Kenya Fraser speculates that Harry and Meghan was driven out of the United Kingdom to distract from systematic royal issues with Prince Andrew. And that's not the only reason. It was because of the shine. Yes, and the jealousy and the envy and the treachery of Willie and Kitty. And also of Charles and his horse. They were jealous of Harry and Meghan as well. So it was a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of racism. It was a lot. And the squatty that reposted this said, thanks for shutting up that god-awful woman, Angela, who just screams like a banshee. And this Angela woman, she really tried to Kenya. She really tried it. And LaKenya was not having none of it. I am going to play the clip and we'll talk on the other side. See, I told y'all we have a lot of clips.
People in public life go about their daily business who become very famous, who pay for their own security.
They haven't been maligned in the same way that Harry and Meghan have.
Harry invited that.
Harry didn't invite that. And this is just my opinion, Angela, but let's think about why they were driven out of the UK. I personally think they were driven out of the UK because they were used as scapegoats to cover up for other nefarious things that was happening. I think Prince Andrew is one of those things. I don't think they would have had to have left to go to California if they were given the right support from the family in the way they should have, for the racism that Meghan faced, for the scrutiny that Harry faced. Yes. Not alleged, come on. We understand what Britain is as an institution. I think some of the hate that is wielded at Meghan and Harry is because she's not an English rose. It's rooted in envy and jealousy. That's
on the cesspit of social media, there were some utterly unforgivable racist remarks.
And also from the family themselves, questioning the colour of the child.
But that has, but where is the robust evidence of who said that it was she versus him? Maybe it was said, maybe it was not. We're not in a position to judge that.
Do you think Harry would lie on his family and say that his family were saying things that were potentially racist and microaggressive?
After what
I think Harry understands the world of those claims.
After what Harry has done, the other thing that I would say to you is that I think you should go back and look, or anybody invested in this debate, go back and look at the press coverage when Harry first started going out with Meghan. There was a reservoir of goodwill for all the things you say about, this is this old institution, it's fusty,
5 minutes,
it's set in its ways. We were Team Harry. We wanted it to work. We wanted it to work.
What I'm hearing is just arguments over whether we sort of like Harry and Meghan or not. And surely it's not about that.
Surely whether they get brought up.
Surely whether they get protection or not is down to whether they face a genuine threat. Prince Andrew, for example, is a good thing to bring up at this point because he doesn't get police protection. It's former Prince Andrew, I'm being told. Very hard to break those sort of common phrases. Andrew doesn't get police protection anymore. King Charles pays for his private protection. You know, Harry's already said he's willing to pay. Maybe they just get private protection, and
they can get private protection, but I think until we work out what the level of threat is, which I think is a dire level of threat towards this family, I think that the taxpayer should pay for it. And if it isn't the taxpayer that pays for it, then maybe his father should, the royal house should, in the same way that they pay for Prince Andrew. If we can't pay for that, former Prince Andrew, if we can't pay for them, but we've been able to pay for other people and wield other people for 10, 15 years, and this is just a family that ran out of the country because of how they were treated by the press and those within the royal house, I think it's fair.
Okay, the issues that we should mention is that paying for private protection, of course, is doable, but there is a difference in protection. Of course. Private protection officers cannot carry guns. RAVIC protection officers, police officers can carry guns. So there is a big difference. And
they also have additional information.
Intelligence sharing, which you won't get with a private.
Kenya ate Angela up, did she not? She sit down, pulled up a chair, put her napkin in her lap, and proceeded to eat her up and leave no crumbs. And I loved every minute of it. The only thing that I would push back on, and that I feel the Kenya did not address properly, would be what Angela said about the well of goodwill. All I want to know is, where is this well? Because it never was anywhere near Harry and Meghan. It was no well of goodwill. Because let's not forget, Harry had to write a letter to try to get them to leave Meghan alone. And he mentioned in the letter the undertones of racism. He said it. Harry had to write 3 letters. Harry said he wrote 1 letter as a boyfriend, 1 as a husband, and 1 as a father. Now, if I didn't get that correct, please put it in the comments. But I do know he wrote 3 letters, and they never, ever backed off. So Angela can miss me completely. I mean completely, with the nonsense that she is trying to peddle. Because Meghan was never given any grace. I mean, never given any grace. So you can miss me with that lie. I have heard them peddle that lie time and time again. And it just doesn't hold up under any kind of scrutiny. They never, ever treated Harry and Meghan with goodwill. They only backed off for a minute when the world was watching during the time of the wedding. And they wreaked havoc and chaos even during that time. So miss me, Angela, with that nonsense. It was never no well of goodwill towards Meghan and Harry, ever. And now I want to play this next clip. It is from the same show, Storm and Alex. And it is a woman calling in. Her name is Vivian. And let me tell you, Vivian had a lot to say. And this is why I am really starting to be encouraged that this is not going to go like they think it's going to go. Because at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan are in a stronger position and people are happy to see them. And a lot of people are just not going to put up with the bullshit out of that media. So let's play the clip and then we'll talk on the other side.
You should get taxpayer-funded protection.
Absolutely, 100%. Good morning to you guys in good morning to the panel. I just want to correct an impression, first of all, to Angela. Angela said he is not a member of the royal family. Breaking news, Angela, Harry is the son of the king. He is and will forever be a member of the royal family. Let me finish. Now, to your question, should Harry and Meghan get police protection? Absolutely yes. And let me tell you the reason why. Number 1, he is the son of the king. Number 2, he served in our military. Okay? Number 3, and most importantly, he is married to a mixed race woman of black heritage, which a lot of people in the UK, the racist and the jealous ones, do not like. So, he will, breaking news now, he's going to get a protection, and there's absolutely nothing like people like Angela would do about it. He will get it.
That's not quite what I said. That's not quite what I said.
Yeah, Vivian, just to interrupt, I take your point number 3 being slightly different for Harry, but if we look at Andrew, for example, he is the brother of the Queen, the favourite son, apparently, of the King, brother of the King, and the favourite son, allegedly, to our former Queen, and he also served in the military, so should he also get taxpayer-funded protection?
They dropped her call, and so she didn't get a chance to answer that. And my problem with that is them bringing up Andrew and Harry and Meghan in the same breath. Harry and Meghan have not been accused of abusing children. And it's my belief that Andrew is a monster. I really feel that this man has done some heinous crimes. Harry and Meghan has never been accused of a crime. Harry and Meghan has not been arrested. So my point is, what in the hell does Harry and Meghan's security have to do with Prince Andrew? I'm just saying, that really gets on my nerves. Their whole game of whataboutism, it really burns me. Because Harry and Meghan are nothing close to Andrew. And my whole thing is he gets protection and would still be getting tax-paid protection if he hadn't been accused of doing such heinous things. And that's the only reason that the taxpayer is not paying for his security. They're embarrassed to ask for them to pay because of what he is accused of. But we just found out, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that he is going to get a royal funeral. Yes, the taxpayers are going to pay for that. But yet and still, somehow, Harry and Meghan doesn't rank getting security. These people need to stop that old whataboutism. I have had it with it. I really wish Vivian had let them have it on that, but I believe they pretty much knew that, and that's the reason why they cut her off, because all of a sudden the phone went dead. Because Vivian was handing them their butts. She was, and I believe she would have said what I said. Stop with the whataboutism. Harry and Meghan hadn't hurt anybody. I mean anybody. They are the ones who was hurt. And this squatty posted that video and said, caller Vivian put Angela Epstein in her place and listed 3 reasons why Prince Harry and Meghan should have funded security in the UK. I would just add a 4th reason being the relentless and negative media coverage against them, which increased their security risks. I personally think as he was born into it, Prince Andrew should be risk assessed, but as he's not the subject of the media campaign, I don't think the risk is as great anyway. Me either. Nobody is checking for Andrew. They don't care. All they care about is the black lady. Y'all remember when Harry and Meghan's security was first pulled? And it was right after this picture right here. Meghan surrounded with her security. And I'm telling you, I'm kind of thinking that they saw this because this was in the Daily Fail. And I believe they maybe saw this and they really got angry because their Meghan was with taxpayer security. And Harry was already on a plane to Canada to join his wife and baby. They knew that they were losing control right then and there, and they took that security because Meghan has never been a priority for them. And when they saw her walking with that security, yeah, I bet they weren't happy. And me personally, now this is what I feel and what I believe. And that is that they really didn't mind if something happened to Meghan. They maybe was a little concerned about Harry, but not really. and they didn't give two shits about baby Archie. That is the reason why I could never forgive those folks. Because Charles literally left Prince Harry and Meghan and their infant son, left them out there to die. And I say that because not only did he take their security and knew what a high threat they were under, that people were presently at the time in jail for threatening them. I mean, he did that, and then in return, he dropped a dime on their location. This is someone who wants to get someone killed. And it's no way you can make it any better. That's exactly what Charles did. And that's the reason why I don't understand Harry. I don't get Meghan, because at the end of the day, I would never, ever forgive Charles. Charles is a trash individual. He is. He is a trash father, a trash grandfather, and a trash king. And I'll say that until I can't. I will always have smoke for Charles and his horse and Willie and Kitty and Edward and Sophie. I always have smoke for all of them because they deserve it. All right, y'all. I want to play y'all this clip. It is from the Jeremy Vine show, and this man just tells it all. You know what I'm saying? He absolutely said the quiet part out loud. I'm going to play this clip, and we'll talk on the other side.
Clear about this, they will carry on in the public eye, whether people want them to or not. Harry's got the Invictus Games next year. He'll be centre stage from that. And he is actually more better with the media than William is, who's rather stilted and stuffy on occasions. And I think there will be an alternative court, and it will make William and Kate look less good than they do at the moment.
Gosh, an alternative court, and they do, as you say, have a star appeal. But isn't it possible that actually it could be a good thing for the royal family? We know that the slimmed-down monarchy is actually a bit problematic when it comes to attending all of the events. Maybe it's time to have a second think about half in, half out, and maybe the king might be okay with that. I was reading over the weekend that Theo Rycroft, who is one of the king's most trusted aides, he's the deputy private secretary to the king, has made it his #1 issue to try and sort things out between the brothers.
I think it's good for the monarchy if they do get out together again. I think it's highly unlikely they will. And like Yasmin, I'm not particularly fond of the royal family. Let me just say about this slimmed-down monarchy we keep hearing about. There is no slimmed-down monarchy. There are fewer people in the Buckingham Palace balcony, but the costs of the royal family are rocketing in this country. Absolutely rocketing. Now costing us about £500 million a year. I want to see a slimmed-down cost, not fewer people in the balcony at Buckingham Palace.
Okay, all right.
And there you have it. This squatty posted that video and said, and there you have it. This is where all the outrage and character assassination comes from. They know the Sussex gather more interest than all the them put together. If the King, William, and their wives gathered as much interest, the media wouldn't be this obsessed. We know this. We know this. And this man, I have saw him before. He is the one that said on TV with his full chest that his editors had told him that he could say whatever he wanted to about Harry and Meghan, but lay off William and Kate. This is the very same man. And he told the truth in this clip as well, because he said Harry and Meghan, especially Harry, had a way about him, and that people were drawn to them. Harry and Meghan have a personality. They're not dead in the eyes. When you look in their eyes, you see someone looking back. William and Kate are fake, and they come off as fake. How does that song go? You can't fake the funk. Yes, Willie and Kitty cannot fake the funk. They come off phony, and people are not drawn to that. And speaking of Willie and Kitty, it's a new article in Vanity Fair from Katie I don't know what the truth looked like, Nichols. And she is talking about Willie and Kitty and their concerns about Harry and Meghan moving back to the UK. Well, we knew it was some concern there. You know, we could tell from the buttload of articles that have been written since Harry and Meghan made this announcement about how they do not want to talk to Harry and Meghan, that they do not want to engage with Harry and Meghan, and they do not want to have anything to do with Harry and Meghan. So we knew that they were going to have some concerns, right? But I would say it's more than concerns. I would say scared itless, because they know the shine is coming back to the crown, and it left with Harry and Meghan and it's coming back with Harry and Meghan. And I'm sure that's a hard pill for them to swallow, because they have done everything they could do to be Harry and Meghan, including copying Harry and Meghan. I mean, even their mannerisms. They have done everything they know to do to duplicate the shine. But it always comes off as fake. It always comes off as phony. It always comes off as disingenuous. And so this is the problem for Willie and Kitty. They're so jealous, they're so envious, and they are so mediocre. And because of that, they hate Harry and Meghan. They'll give all these excuses how somehow they feel that they have been wrong, but in actuality, it's all about Harry and Meghan's shine and their jealousy of it. But let's get into this article. Like I said, it's from Vanity Fair, and the title of the article is Prince William and Kate are concerned about the prospect of a rival royal court. And every time I hear something like this, I say to myself, what century are we living in? I heard that Tom Thumbhead Sykes say that in the video that I shared in my last podcast. And I'm like, who is these people? I mean, is this for real? Do they really believe this? I mean, Harry and Meghan are private citizens. How can it be a rival court? I cannot. If anybody knows what these people are talking about, please explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Because how can you be a rival court when you are private citizens and you're not competing? Rival court, how are you competing? You're just living your life. You can't help. Harry and Meghan cannot help who they are. They are who they are. And what do they want them to do? Not exist anymore? I know way back in the Middle Ages, they would not exist anymore. They would probably chop their heads off. But we're in 2026, baby. That's not going to happen, especially when it comes to Harry and Meghan, because the Sussex Squad will never, ever allow not one of those 12 hairs that Harry has left on the top of his head to be harmed. But I digress. We're going to get into what Katie Nichols is saying. Not all of it, but just some of it. And it says Prince William and Kate Middleton are said to be very concerned about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's return to Britain and the prospect of a rival court, as a royal insider tells Vanity Fair. And the reason they're so concerned is because they know they can't compete. And a rival court means that you think that you are competing with someone. And Kitty and Willie know that they can't compete where they can't compare. They don't compare to Harry and Meghan. They copy Harry and Meghan. And this is their way of admitting that they can't compete. When you copy, you can't compete. But I digress. It says Vanity Fair has learned that while King Charles, who is currently undergoing treatment for an undisclosed form of cancer, welcomed the opportunity to see more of the Sussex family in a private and personal capacity, there will be no change made to Prince Harry's and Meghan's role of their status as private individuals and non-working members of the royal family, in keeping with their clearly expressed wishes and agreement over the past years. Harry and Meghan don't want anything to change. Why would they? Who in the world would want to come back and allow Charles and Willie to put their foot on their necks? I said this a while back. A free bird does not return to its cage and shut the door and lock it. It just doesn't happen. It goes on to say, but sources close to Prince William say he is concerned that Prince Harry and Meghan may try to convince King Charles that they can carry out casual royal duties while remaining financially independent. He doesn't want them to continue to be financially independent because he wants to control the purse strings. Y'all remember, who was it? I can't remember who it was who said that soon William will have the keys to the castle and he will be in control of the purse strings. Oh, now I know who it was. It was Jabbo. Yes, Jabbo was saying that, like Harry and Meghan is supposed to feel some kind of way about that. Harry and Meghan are financially independent. They don't have to depend on Willie for nothing. Or Charles. Like that is supposed to scare Harry and Meghan, two very, very independent people who have their own money. And that is the reason why William wants that control back over Harry and Meghan, and it's just not going to happen. And also, who in the world would want to do any casual royal duties? I mean, it's ridiculous. Harry and Meghan wants to do serious stuff. And I don't understand why he is worrying about if Harry and Meghan does any royal duties or not, because him and Kitty, they don't do them themselves. And they're supposed to. I mean, somebody has to do them. They're not doing them. Why can't Harry and Meghan do them? It makes no sense. It says Prince William, who is not speaking to his brother following Harry's bombshell 2023 memoir Spare, has told sources close to him that trust remains a fundamental issue. Yes, it does. And it's on your side because you're the only one who has betrayed anybody. Harry and Meghan, everything they have said right up front with their full chest. You have went behind their backs and done all manner of damage and tried to destroy them. So miss me with the fake victimhood. And it says William is very concerned that Harry and Meghan will want to try to implement the half-in, half-out model Queen Elizabeth vetoed at the Sandringham Summit. Queen Elizabeth did not veto the half-in, half-out. That was clearly a plot between Clive Alderton and Willie. And Charles and the Queen allowed it to unfold. So they can miss me with that as well. And then it goes into the nonsense. And Kaiser said in her summary at the end, she said, very concerned is more regal than apoplectic and smoldering with rage. I actually wonder if William in particular is feeling less apoplectic and more like scared, genuinely frightened, and frozen with fear about what will happen next and what all this means. I believe all of the William and the King are in complete agreement over the half-in, half-out talking points are coming from William and his office as well. Either that or Charles is placating his rage baby heir who believes that anything Harry and Meghan do, it constitutes a breach of the sacred Sandringham Summit agreement. The same sacred Sandringham Summit agreement that Charles and Willie broke time and time again. Harry and Meghan are the only ones keeping the agreement. William has been concerned this whole time about the Sussex financial independence because it means he can't control his brother. Exactly. And he was looking forward to that. He really, really was. He was really looking forward to it. I love that for him. Now Harry is going to have as much money as he has. Maybe not as much property. But look what Harry and Meghan have. They have 3 homes now. They are about to catch up with Willie and Kitty, are they not? I love it. And I also want to talk about this article I found over there on Celebrity. And it looks like Andrew Morton has been out and about yapping away. You know, he is the one that wrote Diana's, that, well, it wasn't an autobiography. Later, we found out that she had cooperated with him in writing the book, and the book was pretty much accurate, that she had gave him some insights into what was going on with her. But I digress. You know, he always claimed that he was such a great friend of Diana, but he has proven himself, like Tina Brown, to be nothing more than a hack. And they all have really exposed themselves in the past years since Harry and Meghan left that salty island over there. Yeah, they have all exposed themselves. You know, he is the one that went to LA. I think he wrote a book about Meghan, and he tried to dig up everything he could about Meghan. And what he dug up was that Meghan was a good person. But still, here he is participating in the nonsense and saying very, very disparaging things about Harry and Meghan. And I look at this and I really think, why would someone who say that they were friends of Diana would attack her children? I mean, it makes no sense. But yeah, this is who these people are. A flying monkey will always be a flying monkey, just like a snake is a snake is a snake. But I digress. The title of the article is Martin, Prince William and Kate will work harder now that the Sussexes are returning. And he didn't lie. He did not lie. This is what he said. The decision to return to Britain has certainly changed the dynamic between Harry and Meghan. These days, it is Harry who is whistling a merry tune. By returning to England, he has friends, family, charities, and his military mates all to hand. Meghan, not so much. The one-time deal or no deal girl. See the shade? See the shade. This is a man who was supposed to be a friend of Diana, but a flying monkey will always be a flying monkey. And this is what he said. Has been dealt a crummy hand. She loses her Montecito circle of girlfriends with whom she plays the Chinese game Mahjong, her proximity to her mother Doria, movers and shakers in Hollywood, and her chickens. The envy, the jealousy, the bitterness is just dripping off of all of that. And this, I repeat again, was a man who claimed that he was Diana's friend. This right here is nothing but vitriol towards Meghan. You would never get Elton John to do some trashy shit like this. This is why a flying monkey can never be your friend. They cannot, because they're always going to be a flying monkey. The same as a snake can never be your friend because they always will end up biting you. He goes on to repeat these derangers' nonsense about how Meghan is selling candles without wicks and runny jams. And this is a man who presents himself as a respected journalist and writer. He would put something like this in an article that he wrote about a woman that he knows is a lie. He's just attacking Harry's wife. See, this is what I'm sick of. I am sick of these people. I am so sick of these people always trying to get a lick in on Meghan. I really am. That is the reason why I drag them every opportunity. It makes no sense. But he goes on to talk about William and said, William is the key here. He's said to be furious at his father's decision to meet with Harry, blah, 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 blah. And he says, as for the Wales, the persistent criticism has been the low number of royal engagements they undertake, especially compared to the older members of the royal family, such as the Princess Royal. Irritated as they both are by the arrival of the Sussexes, it is now apparent that they are going to have to up their game at least in the coming months if Harry and Meghan are not to grab all the headlines. This is how these people think. They think the headlines is everything. And Willie and Kitty is competing for headlines. Willie and Kitty are future king and queen dumb as a rock. Isn't that enough? I mean, it makes no sense, but here they are. I have said this before. This is crazy. If someone came down here from another planet and saw these people behaving like this, they would think, what in the world is going on? If anybody other than this family would behave like this in this ecosystem with all of these flying monkeys, they all would be committed to an insane asylum. Being on the outside looking in, it looks crazy. It looks mental. I mean, Harry and Meghan are living their lives, but yet and still, Willie and Kitty is supposed to be threatened by that. Make that make sense. What do they want Harry and Meghan to do? They are Harry and Meghan, and Willie and Kitty are Willie and Kitty. And nothing can be done about that. If you don't want Harry and Meghan getting all the headlines, talk to the editors. Do not blame them. It says so much about Willie and Kitty that they have to have someone to play off of in order to motivate them to do their job. They are the future king and queen dumb as a rock. Why do they have to be motivated by Harry and Meghan? That is not Harry and Meghan's job to motivate Willie and Kitty. Harry and Meghan are living their lives. This is crazy, y'all. All right, y'all, I am going to play y'all a clip from James O'Brien. And this is what I'm going to end on. And it's so funny because it kind of feeds into what I just talked about, how they're saying that Willie and Kitty needs to up their game to compete with Harry and Meghan. But when you see this clip of James O'Brien, you will see that Kate and Willie cannot up their game enough to ever compete with Harry and Meghan's shine. I'm going to play the clip and we'll talk on the other side.
Meghan and Harry's what to stay in California? Did you have a guess at that one? It's not children, Keith. It's not nanny, as many people suggested. It is, in fact, chickens. Meghan and Harry's chickens to stay in California. And that is an actual newspaper article in the Daily Telegraph today. I don't know if you were listening on Friday. We went through the Daily Mail, which had 15 pages, 15 pages dedicated to the decision by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to move house, brackets, probably, close brackets. 15 pages of coverage. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you. I can't even remember what I said on Friday. And it was only 3 days ago, but it is a mark of a madness that is almost impossible to fully process, isn't it?
And there you have it. This is the reason why Willie and Kitty will never be able to compete with Harry and Meghan. And that is the reason why they don't want them in the UK. because you can say what you want to about Willie and Kitty. They know exactly who they are. They know that they're mediocre. They know that they are dull. They know that they are uninteresting. And Harry and Meghan are the opposite. And that is the reason why Willie is so mad. It's not about anything that was said in Spare. It's all about his brother's shine and his brother's wife. That is all it is about. Because when your chickens that are in a whole different country makes the headlines, rate a whole article, then you know that is no competing with that if you're Willie and Kitty. I mean, they wrote a whole article about the chickens. And Zanny Sussex said, I kid you not, Archie's chickens have made it to the front pages of the British media. Absolute madness. Where is the lie? And James O'Brien was talking about 15 pages of coverage. 15 pages. The Daily Fail is losing its mind. 15 pages? That is crazy. And it's all speculation. It's all made up. It is all nonsense. Harry and Meghan has said nothing. And these people are writing 15 pages. I cannot. Tell me what y'all think about that. 15 pages and the chickens making the front page. This squatty said they wrote an article about the Sussexes' chickens. Chickens made it a top story. Chickens. I am still cracking up. Chickens. And this was in the Telegraph. I cannot with these people. And this squatty said they're reporting on the chickens. Wow. And they did not leave the dogs out either. They wrote an article about the dogs. The title of the article is, I'm a Dog Behaviorist. What Harry and Meghan must do before family return to the UK. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have some tough decisions ahead of their UK return. They are talking about Pula and Mamma Mia. I cannot. And Zanny posted this and said, I'm sure Pula wasn't happy about being eclipsed by the chickens, but she and Mia has finally hit the big time. Forget the constitutional experts, raw historians, and body language experts. We have reached the dog behavioralist stage of Harry and Meghan coverage. Stand by for the asparagus fortune tellers. It's crazy out here on these internet streets, y'all. I'm telling you. But y'all know I always enjoy my time that I spend with y'all. And I will be seeing you soon. And if you want to support the channel, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Look below. And if you see 3 dots, click them. And that should be the super thanks button. And if you see a hype button, hype your girl up. Because it really, really helps the channel. It really helps the podcast to be pushed out so other people, new eyeballs, will get to see it. And that's the way we grow our tribe. So yes, if you have a hype button, hype your girl up. Also, if you want to become a channel member and become a part of the reading club, look below. It should be a link right there. And if you're watching on television, click my picture, click join, and follow the prompts. And also, if you're watching on television, the super thanks button should be right under your picture. It looks like a little dollar sign. And it's so many more ways you can support the channel. Look at my bio. I have Buy Me a Coffee. I have Zelle. I have PayPal. And if you don't want to do any of those and you don't want to mess with YouTube, on over there to patreon.com/TheRoyalRead. I have a reading club over there as well, and you can support me over there. And if you don't want to support me, just get a free membership because I'll be posting over there all the time. And I'm just about to post something that I found on these internet streets, blew my wig back. And I know it's going to blow your wig back as well. I could never get away with it here on the YouTube. So I'm going to post it over there on Patreon. So yeah, get a free membership. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.